What's up, guys? Welcome back to the part 2 of the Power Clean series. In this video, we're going to be talking about the second pull of the Power Clean. My name is John Evans. I coach the highest jumper in the world. This is Isaiah Rivera. He is a 50.5 inch measured vertical precisely and accurately. And I've been coaching him for about 5 years. I work with tons and tons of other jumping athletes: Tony Crosby, Connor Barth, Jonathan Clark, CJ Champion. The list goes on and on and on. Dominic Gonzalez, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Anyways, we are going to get into it here. Yesterday we covered the first pull. We will do a quick primer on that. So Isaiah, go down to the floor. Remember, the bar starts about 8.5 inches off the ground. So if you don't have plates, just go to about 8.5 inches off the ground. And then he is going to slowly push the knees back, keeping his back angle exactly the same. So at this point, you should have the shoulders in advance of the bar. You should make sure that your shins are relatively vertical. You can push the knees back a little further, Isaiah. Yep, right there. So shins are vertical. Back is nice and flat here. Head can either be up or neutral, up to you. And he is pulling the bar back into himself, right? So he doesn't leave it out in front. He pulls it back. That way he's able to keep the shoulders in advance of the bar. It is imperative that you are in this position at the end of the first pull. Shoulders in front of the bar, legs relatively straight. So from this point, all you are going to do is jump. That is it. You're going to jump and you're going to keep the bar very close. This is the entire purpose of this lift. So Isaiah, go back to the set position. So slow, 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 and then he jumps, right? So it is a bit rhythmic. You want to go slowly off the ground, almost like you're pulling an arrow back, and then he's jumping as the bar gets above the knee. If you do this correctly, what will happen is the knees will shift underneath the bar and his body will upright. He goes into this position, almost like he's saddled, and then he pushes up aggressively and extends. And you can see, once he gets the knees forward in that position, so go to the end of the double knee bend. And we call it the double knee bend because it's the second time the knee has been in a bent position. So at the start, right, go to the very start position, the knee is bent, he's pushing his knees back, getting a big stretch in the hamstring, and then this is the second time the knees are bent, right? And so from this position, he's in a very, very, very strong position. How much do you think you could lift right there?
1,000.
Infinite. And so from here, he jumps, extends upwards, and that is where most of the acceleration or all of the acceleration on the bar happens. That is why we do the lift. It is the purpose of the lift. And if you do the lift correctly, that is where the bar will bend and flex, and you'll get a big impulse on the ground. You'll get a lot of tension in your quads. And yeah, that's the purpose of it. So mistakes of what people do here. One, they don't extend the hip. So they will jump, they'll go into this position, they'll go to the end of the first pull, and they'll just kind of do this hinged position where their hips don't really ever get forward. So you can watch Isaiah's head never gets upright. He doesn't really ever let his torso fully extend. You don't see triple extension. So what I do, they'll do the wrong. So they'll stay flexed. Watch his hip. He pretty much, wow. So he basically always keeps his hip flexed. If you watch right here, his hip never gets all the way through. Now do a correct one. So if you're having that issue, you're really just not jumping as hard as you can. If I told Isaiah to jump as high as he could from the end of the first pull, right, push the knees back even further, what will happen is his knees will shift under the bar and his head will go through the roof, right? And that is what we should see. Could you jump higher than that?
I think so. Can I try?
You can try it, yeah. It's like a barbell squat jump. So we're at the end of the first pull, jumps, and yeah, his head will almost get to the roof on it if you do it correctly. The reason I love this exercise is because you're in a very powerful position with that slight flexion. You also have a stretch reflex or stretch shortening cycle, happening in the double knee bend. So it happens really, really fast. You're able to stretch the tendon really quickly, get a lot of energy out of it, and still load up the muscle quite a bit. So that is the second pull. Really, the only cue you want to use is just jump. You want to jump as high and as hard as you can and make sure you're fully extending at the hip and seeing a double knee bend happen. Now, if the double knee bend isn't happening, you're probably not pushing the knees back far enough in the first pull. So what some people do, they'll navigate the knee, keep the knees flexed even, you're still doing it.
I put him back?
You double knee bend. I'm saying do it wrong. So go to the end of the first pull. All right, now to be in the wrong position, bend your knee a bunch. Yeah, so end in that position after the first pull. So do it wrong. Navigate the knee. Can you do it?
Yeah.
So it's like a deadlift. You still do a double knee bend. Isaiah can't even do it wrong. So basically what people will do is they'll be in this position, they'll navigate around the knee, and they never really have the knee ever.
Oh, you're telling me, okay.
Yeah, they never actually push the knees
like
back out of the way. That's still,
Oh
you
my
kind of still
God.
have one. You can't do it wrong. If you've done it wrong, it'll look like the way I was doing it. You'll basically do a deadlift around it like this and then jump out of it. I really like to see the knees push back fully. That is a massively, massively important thing. Again, go back and watch the first part of this series, which is the first pull if you're messing that up. Typically, if one part of the clean is wrong, it's related to the section before it. Same thing with jumping or anything else. If your jump sucks, probably related to the penultimate step. If your penultimate sucks, it's probably related to the approach. That said, guys, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you're looking for coaching, go to THPStrength.com, and we will see you guys in part 3, where we cover...
And if you're a THP athlete, send us videos of you trying to clean.
Yeah. And that said, we will see you tomorrow with the third pull, which is going to be pulling yourself underneath the bar, and then the catch. See you guys.